Hello and welcome to part 5 of how to create a calculator app for Android. Okay, we will fix bugs, make the app work fine, maybe improve the architecture of our app, and we will make stuff look nicer. So we will first find the bugs we can, fix them, then try to improve the way we fix them, and so on. So we're gonna run the application right now and see if we can find any bugs and fix them. Okay, we open the app in emulator and we will start pressing delete to see if we can make the app crash or to a bug make a bug to occur. And when we press an operation like division, the app crashed. So if you can notice right here, on all the operations we have kind of the same thing. The only thing that changes is the operation sign and the stuff we have to append. So maybe we can create a method to fix this. Okay, so we will create a method that we will call operation pressed. So outside the onCreate method, we will type private void op pressed op pressed. Okay, and inside this method we have to pass the operation to know which operation was pressed. For example, we will use a char to define the operation. Okay, so instead of doing all the these large stuff right here, we just called op pressed. We will do just op pressed, and since this is addition, we will pass an addition sign like that. Okay, so we now have to do this, and we will move this code to the up press method. Okay, and see if everything works fine. So here we have a couple of errors which are normal to have. So first of all, calculator screen is not accessible from outside the onCreate method. For that, we will create the text view outside the onCreate method. So on the calculator screen initialization and definition line, we will delete final text view and we will just leave calculator screen. And outside the onCreate method, we will type private text view calculator screen. Okay, and this way we can now access the calculator screen text view from outside the onCreate method. Okay, pretty cool. And what else here we have? We can append this thing. So can we convert a character to string, or we can do the other way around? Maybe if we can go operation to string, or something like string value of operation, maybe. Okay, string dot value of operation. Okay, and current op, we will change this with operation. So this method right here enables us to use the same method for the whole operations. Okay, that's cool. Now we can save lots of lines of code right here because we can delete all of these from the other operations, and instead of that we will just go up pressed and the operation in single quotes. So remember, this is single quote. So this is subtraction. Okay, we will do the same for multiplication. Okay, it's op pressed and multiplication. This is the power of calling a method, you know. Op pressed division, so single quotes and division. And you know, now we have a lot less code, most elegant, looks a lot nicer. So now we will run the app to check if everything works fine. So we haven't still fixed the bug, but let's see if we still can do operations like 9 times 9 equals 81. So it works. Okay, so now the operation debug was when we tap 2 times the an operation sign. Okay, so here we will say we will return if the conditions are not the optimal. So we're gonna say if up pressed, if is up pressed, we will return. Now we will run the app and check if the bug was fixed. Oh, when we press an operation, we have another bug. This is a new bug. When we press an operation and the length of the screen content is less than 1, so it's empty, we also have to return. Okay, so we will say create an integer that will say final int screen content length. Okay, oops, it's length. Okay, and this will be screen content dot length. In order to avoid this repetition, here we will, in the next line, we will just say screen content length. Okay, but after this line, we will say if screen content length is 0, or better, even better, kind of less than 1 or smaller than 1, we will also return. Okay, so now we will run the app again and see if the bug was fixed. Okay, so when we press the operations, nothing happens, and even if we press a number and 2 operations, nothing happens. So we have fixed the bugs we found. Okay, so right now we're gonna try to find new bugs. So if we press delete, nothing happens, clear everything. If we press numbers, everything is fine. If we press a dot, a number, and then we press equal, minus, dot, 2, equal, it still works. So let's try to find another bug. 3, minus, equal, and we found a new bug. This new bug occurs when we press equal and the last number, and we don't have a second operand. So we have to check that too. Okay, so we go to equals, and we need to figure out if the last character is a number, maybe. Okay, we can figure out if the last character is a number. We should know if we have something apart from an operation as the last character. So this basically will check if the last character is an operation. Okay, so we will get the last character of the screen content, basically. Okay, so up press is being set to false here, which I don't think is a good idea. So we will change these up press to false to the bottom of this thing. So the last thing we will do is set up press to false. Okay, so now after the screen content line, we will check if the last character is not an operation. For that, we define a character, last character, we name it that way, and that will be screen content char at. And here we have to maybe the length of the string. Yeah, I mean, if we have a string of length 1, then the last character will be at index 0, so it will be screen content that length. Oops, that length. -1. Okay, so now we will check if last character equals addition or last character is subtraction, or last character is multiplication, or last character is division. In any of these cases, we will return. Now we will test and see if the bug was fixed. Okay, so the bug was when we press 9 times equal, it should crash, but now it doesn't crash because we have fixed the bug. Okay, what works fine. Divided by 9.1, and then we have a cool number, double precision floating point number. Okay, so now let's try to find more bugs if we can. Maybe we won't be able to find every bug, but we will try it. Okay, 7 divided by 9 equals divided by 1.0 equals, okay, times 6 works fine, minus dot equals, and it crashes. Okay, so dot can only be pressed if the last character is not an operation. So we will copy these lines we just wrote and we will paste them here in dot. And of course we have to get the last character. So we will copy these other two lines. Okay. And now we will try to figure out how to do this. Okay, if last character, so basically we copy that and that should fix the bug. So let's see. Okay, so the bug occurred when we pressed like 3 minus dot and dot doesn't appear. Minus equals minus 0, 3. Okay, so we now have a more stable calculator. Let's see if we can find new bugs. Point. Okay, we cannot input a dot if the screen is empty. Okay, because that's not okay. Okay, now we will say, and we will say final int screen content length equals screen content dot length, and we will replace this screen content dot length with screen content length. Okay, and now we will say here if screen content length is less, what's going on here? Screen content, there's a typo here, double E. Screen content length is less than 1, we will return. Okay, so let's run the app again and see if it's working fine. Okay, so it's compiling and hopefully, we have a compilation. Okay, we have a type an extra E right here and that will fix it. Okay, so now we compile it and test the application. Okay, so now if we press a dot, it won't crash the app and nothing will happen. -3. Yeah, it works fine. It works fine. I think it works. We have fixed a lot of bugs, and maybe if you can find a way to making this more elegant, you can also do it. Okay, but now maybe we want to change the layout a little bit. Okay, how do we do it? Okay, you can do lots of different stuff here, really. If you want, you can make the screen larger. If you want, you can add additional buttons, whatever the case may be. For example, I want to make the screen larger. So instead of 100 dp, I will put 150 dp. Okay, if you like that. If you like smaller, you can make it smaller. Okay, now we will see if this screen looks larger. Okay. Okay, installing and launching, and now we have a larger screen. If you want that, okay, maybe you don't want that. Okay, if you want to not show this calculator top bar, we can go and edit that on the theme, I think. So we will open up res, and we open values folder and styles. So here in styles, we can define different items that will specify our theme behavior. For example, we can, I think it is title bar. Window no title, I think, would be a good guess. And we'll say true. Let's see if the title disappeared. So this calculator title, that's what I mean. Okay? And yes, it's gone. Okay? So now we have kind of a more clean UI if you like. If you don't, maybe you can still stay with the previous one. And here we can also change the colors of stuff. We can do it here, we can do it in main layout. For example, if you want to make the delete button to have a kind of maybe red text, we'll say text color, and if we specify this in red, we will be doing like FF 4444, something like that. And we have delete in red. Okay, and we maybe want to clear everything to be in kind of a green or blue or whatever the case may be. So we can say text color, maybe AA, FF, AA, or maybe we can, I don't know, it really depends on what we want. Maybe we can do 44, FF 44. So if you want to do it this way, if you want to make, for example, whatever the case may be, maybe you want to make the screen a different background color. So we'll go say background, and we want the screen to be black, for example. We will set 6 zeros, but now we have to change the text color to a little bit more white to have contrast and actually be able to see what's going on. So we will, for example, do 6 E's. That would be cool. Now we will run the app and see our new aesthetic changes. I'm not a kind of good designer, but you can find lots of cool colors. So for example, 8 times 8 equals 64. You can change that, you can change these. And now if you want to change the a little bit more space after this the 4, we can use what's called padding, I think. So we're gonna say padding 10 dp. We will run and we'll say what happens. So there's a lot of UI design changes that you may make. So as you can see now, there's a little bit of space after the last number, so that's cool. And yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in a future tutorial. Thank you. Bye.